Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class, we have understood about the cell membrane. Let me recall you what are the things that we have studied. So cell membrane or plasma membrane, cell membrane is basically what? It is that outer boundary which is present in both in the plant cell as well as in the animal cell. Although we are knowing in plant cell there is another outer covering which is called as a cell wall. But in case of an animal, it is only the plasma membrane or cell membrane. How the movement of the molecules occur in the plasma membrane or the cell membrane? It is by the process of diffusion or by the process of osmosis. So endoosmosis, exoosmosis, these all will take place in case of a cell membrane. Sometimes what happens is in the diffusion or the osmosis process is that process in which there is no need of energy is there. But in other case there is a need of energy. So we can say that the movement of some of the molecules need energy, and such kind of a transport we called it as an active transport. So the active transport is that transport in which we have to supply the energy, but in case of a passive transport, automatically the movement will occur from the higher concentration to lower concentration. Now let us move on. We have understood about the plasma membrane or cell membrane. Now move to the next topic, and that is cell wall. So plant cell, in addition to the plasma membrane, have another rigid outer covering called cell wall. Basically, cell wall is what, student? Cell wall is present outside to that of the plant cell. It is something which makes a differ from that of a plant cell to animal cell. In case of an animal cell, there is no such wall is present outside. Cell wall is present outside. While in case of a plant, there is an outer boundary, that is cell wall is present in it. So cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane, while the cell membrane, it is present inside to that of the inside to that of the cell wall, and it is basically both of them are basically present in the plant cell. In animal cell, there is no cell wall, only cell membrane is there. It is what? It is a rigid outer covering, students. Actually, it is a permeable. See, permeability is also, there are two things. One is semi-permeable and one is permeable, and another thing is also there which is impermeable. So, permeable is what? Permeable layer which allow all the molecules to pass through it. Semi-permeable or selectively permeable membrane allow the selected particles to enter into it. And impermeable which do not allow the lighter material to pass from each other. So here cell wall is what? It is permeable. Now the cell wall present outside to that of the plasma membrane, and the cell wall is what? Basically, if we look at the composition of cell wall, we will find that cell wall is made up of a cellulose. Cellulose is what, student? Is a carbohydrate only, a complex carbohydrate, a complex substance which provides structural strength to plant. Yes. See, when we keep a cell membrane in a hypotonic solution, we will say that the cell becomes turgid, or when we kept it into a hypertonic, we will say that the cell shrinks. But if the cell wall is present, the turgidity, it will be handled by that of the cell wall. So we can say here it is what? It is a complex substance. Glucose is a complex substance, complex carbohydrate, which will going to provide the structural strength to the plant. Now when a living plant cell loses water through osmosis, there is a shrinkage or contraction. This phenomenon is called as plasmolysis. This is really very important to know that. and that is when a living cell loses water through osmosis, there is shrinkage or contraction of the content of the cell away from that of the cell wall. So when the living cell, it loses water through osmosis, and why and when it happens? It happens when we kept the cell into a hypertonic solution, where this concentration of the salt solution is higher than that of the water which is present surrounding it. And what happened, due to which the water start moving from the cell to outside, and such kind of a movement is making the cell to shrink. Now the shrinkage of that of the cell is also called as a plasmolysis. This phenomena is called as plasmolysis. Okay. So plasmolysis, breakdown of plasma, or we can say plasmolysis. Okay. So living cell loses water and becomes shrink to form plasmolyzed cell. Okay. Now here few things are given about the cell wall. Let us see what is that. Cell walls permit the cell of a plant, fungus, bacteria to withstand very dilute external media without bursting. In such a media, cell tends to take water by osmosis and the cell swells. It builds up pressure against the cell wall, and the wall exert an equal pressure against the swollen cell. Because of their wall, such cell withstand with such a greater change in the surrounding medium than animal cell. See, this cell will allow that of the plant and the fungi and the bacteria to withstand with the hypertonic solution, in which hypertonic solution means what? It means the solution, the media which is present outside to that of the cell, it swells up. So the wall is what happen when it gets swell? It will start exerting pressure on the wall, and such kind of a change that we will not going to find in case of animal. Okay, so these are the three things which is really important to know. The first one was cell membrane, the second one was cell wall. Now the third one, and that is nucleus. Very, very, very important, student, because if there will be no nucleus, there will be no life, there will be no such cell is formed. So we must know the nucleus. So remembering the temporary mount of onion peel we prepared, we had put iodine solution on the peel. Why? What would you see if try observing the peel without putting the iodine solution? Try it and send what is the differences. Further, when we put iodine solution on the peel, did each cell get evenly correct? According to the chemical composition, different region of a cell get colored differentially. Some region appear darker than the other region. Apart from iodine solution, we could also use saffron solution or methylene blue also can be used. See here, when we talk about the nucleus, in case of a plant cell, the nucleus is not present at the center. It is basically present in the at the periphery region. And what is the reason behind it? The reason is that is the cell is what? It is filled with, most of the space is filled with vacuole. And because of that, there is a very less space is present in that of the nucleus. So at the periphery of the cell, there is a dot like a structure you will find in the onion peel. and that we called as a nucleus. So for staining, why we used to do the staining? In order to see all these things. Now this nucleus is really very important because it is the master of everything. It help in synthesizing, it help in making that of the cell organelles. So nucleus is what it used to control everything. Even the information from the one generation to another, it will be carried with that of the material present in the nucleus itself, and that is DNA. So not only the iodine solution can be used for staining, but even safranin solution can also be used. Now there is an activity. Let us read the activity here. Let us take a glass slide with a drop of a water on it. Using an ice cream spoon, gently scrap the inside surface of the cheek. Does any material get stuck on the spoon? With the help of a needle, we can transfer this material and spread it evenly on the glass slide kept ready for this. To change the material, we can put a drop of a methylene blue solution to it. Now the material is ready for observation under a microscope. Do not forget to put a cover slip on it. What do we observe? What is the shape of the cell we see? Draw it in the observation sheet. Now see here, this is an activity, and there what we have taken, we are actually doing the experiment for a human cheek cell in case of a plant cell. So here we are actually finding that of the human cheek cell. In a human cheek cell, so how can we do this experiment, students? So with the help of a toothpick or even with the ice cream spoon, when we will try to scrap that of the inside surface of the cheek very gently, then we will find that through scraping there is a small transparent layer can be seen at the base of the toothpick or that of the spoon, ice cream spoon. Now what we will do, we will take that cell, human cheek cell, to that of the water in order that water would be absorbed in it. Either we can drop one drop of methylene blue or safranin. Okay, both of them are what? Indicators. Indicators, it means basically it help in making the things very clearly. So it is basically used for staining purpose. Okay. Now what we will do, we will take the safranin. We have taken the stain that of the human cheek cell, and then we will add a few drops of a glycerin and cover it with the help of cover slip. When we try to see it under that of the compound microscope, what do we find? We will find that is the cells are what? They are of a different shapes. There is no such compactly arranged structure we will found as we have seen in case of an onion cell. The thing that's the which we can also differ the plant and the animal cell is the nucleus. In case of a plant cell, nucleus is present in the between or in middle, while in case of an animal cell, the nucleus is present in the middle, and plant cell it is present at periphery, okay, near to that of the wall. Reason is, in case of an animal cell, vacuole are small, so there is a space for the nucleus to be present, and in case of a plant cell, most of the portion is covered by the vacuole only, so it is present at the periphery. So in both of the cases, whether it is a plant cell or an animal cell, it is having a nucleus in it. The nucleus has a double layered covering called nuclear membrane. Outside to that of the nucleus, especially in case of a eukaryotic cell, we will find that the nucleus is what? It consisting of a nuclear membrane, and this nuclear membrane is also a double layered covering or double layered membrane. This nuclear membrane, it is having pores. What is the use of having pores, students? It means the role of a pores present in that of the nuclear membrane. See, here it is given that the nuclear membrane has pore which allow the transfer of material from inside the nucleus to its outside, that is to the cytoplasm, from that of the nucleus to the cytoplasm. Basically, the role of the pores which is present in that of the nuclear membrane, it help in the transfer of the material. So the material gets transferred from inside the nucleus to outside from to it, and that is occurs because of the pores present in it. So nucleus is what? It is a double layered covering, that is nuclear membrane. Now the nucleus also consisting of a very important thing, students, and that is it contain chromosome, which is visible as a rod shaped structure, and this is the thing in the cell which only divides. It's really important to know about the chromosome. So nucleus, it consisting of the chromosome, which is at first when you look at it, it looks like a rod shaped structure, and this is that part in the cell which used to show the division. The most important thing in case of a chromosome is the chromosome contain information for inheritance of character from parents to the next generation in the form of a DNA molecule, deoxyribonucleic acid. Basically, chromosome is what? It is important. It is present in the nucleus. Why a nucleus is important? Because of the material present in it. The nucleus consisting of the chromosome. And the role of the chromosome, it used to carry the information from parents to the offspring or from first generation to the next generation. How these chromosome will be transferred? So it will be transferred in the form of a DNA. Now, if we look at the chromosome are what? It is made up of a two things. First is DNA and the second thing is the protein. So histone protein and that of the DNA, they both of them give rise to chromosome, which is carrying the information of the parents to that of the offspring. Okay. So chromosome is that rod shaped structure. Now this chromosome is what? It is composed of a two things, DNA and protein. DNA molecule, it contains the information necessary for constructing and organizing cell. So this DNA molecule is what? What is the role? Basically, the chromosome consisting of a DNA, and it used to carry the information from the parents to offspring, and that is why it is important. Now the functional segment of a DNA is called as gene. Now this DNA also consisting of a one segment, and that we called as a gene. It's really important to know that is the functional segment of DNA are called gene. So chromosome composed of DNA and histone, and DNA itself composed of genes. In a cell, especially which is not dividing, the DNA present as a part of a chromatin material, and the chromatin material is visible as entangled mass of a thread like a structure. So whenever the cell is about to divide, the chromatin material get organized into chromosome. So normally the chromatin material is present in it, and the chromatin material, when the division process occur, then it used to arrange itself in such a way that it can give a shape of a chromosome. Now this is consisting of a material in it, the DNA, material is of a DNA of the chromatin material. What is the chromatin? Chromatin material is visible as entangled mass of a thread-like structure. So whenever the cell is about to divide, the chromatin material get organized into chromosome. Basically, the chromatin material is that material in which the thread-like structure which used to get mixed up with each other. So, such kind of a material is visible as an entangled mass of a thread-like structure. And whenever this chromosome will going to divide, the chromatin material, it will organize itself into chromosome again, and due to the formation of this the chromatin material, we can say it is what? It is nothing but itself is a chromosome which get organized during the division. Now nucleus, it plays a central role in cellular reproduction. Nucleus plays a central role in cellular reproduction, the process by which a single cell divide and form two new cells. It is also plays a crucial part along with the environment in determining the way the cell maturity by directing the chemical activities of the cell. In some organisms like bacteria, the nuclear region of the cell may be poorly defined due to absence of a nuclear membrane. Now see here, in some of the organisms, the nuclear region of the cell, it is not properly well defined, as you will see in that of the animal cell. So such a undefined nuclear region which containing the nucleic acid in it is called as nucleoid. This is really important to know. What is nucleoid? So the absence of undefined nuclear region containing only nucleic acid is called nuclei. Now, an organism which basically do not consisting of a well-defined nuclear membrane, or if it is not consisting of a well-defined nuclear region, so such kind of cells are the old cells which we call as a primitive cells, or in a short form we can also call as prokaryotic cell. So in case of a prokaryotic cell, the cells does not consisting of a well-defined nuclear membrane. Even while division, the chromatin material will be not able to organize itself into a chromosome. Prokaryotic cell also lack most of the other cytoplasmic organelles. It is not only that we can say that the eukaryotic consisting of a well-developed or well-defined nucleus with a nuclear membrane, while the prokaryotic does not have a well-defined nuclear membrane. There are some other factors also by which we can say that the eukaryotes are what? They are different, or prokaryotes are different from that of the eukaryote. So many of the cell organelles are also not present in that, or it is poorly organized and poorly performed in that of the cytoplasm. And yes, it is basically present in that of the prokaryotic cell, where the cell organelles are also not functioning, are also performed by a poorly organized cytoplasm. It performed but a poorly organized cytoplasm. The chlorophyll in the photosynthetic prokaryotic bacteria, it is also associated with the membranous vesicles, but not with the plastid as eukaryotic cell. So basically we can say that the organelles are also not well developed in case of a prokaryotic cell. The chlorophyll which is present in the photosynthetic prokaryotic bacteria, it is associated with the membranous vesicle, and even the plastids are also even if we talk about the bacteria, the primitive bacteria like that of a prokaryotic bacteria, The chlorophyll in that of the photosynthetic prokaryotic bacteria, it is also associated with the membranous vesicles. But yes, there is no plastid as we can see in case of a eukaryotic cell. So prokaryotes are different from that of the eukaryote. There are some drawbacks are there, some limitations are there by which prokaryotes are different from that of the eukaryotic cell. Okay, so this is about the nucleus. So we have studied till now the cell wall, what is cell membrane or plasma membrane, as well as that of the nucleus. Okay, then the next topic, it will be cytoplasm, which is also an important part of the cell. Okay.